I'm Liam.
And I'm Georgia. We've packed up our lives in Australia and moved to the other side of the world to travel and explore.
We're converting a van from scratch to live in full time and are filming the process.
We hope you enjoyed this series and we're so excited for you to join us on this journey.
So now the van was nice and clean, the next thing we decided to do was get a roll of masking tape and lay our floor plan down on the actual van itself. I recommend doing this because you get a much clearer picture than what you do looking on a computer screen. So we've used the marking tape to do a rough outline of where we're going to have our furniture, cabinetry and everything. So down here in the bottom left-hand corner, that'll be a wardrobe. The same will be down there. The next thing, it is going to be our bathroom / shower. I imagine we'll probably have a 600 by 600 shower pan over there, and then a small composting toilet in there. The next thing up, that's just a 600 by 600 spot for cabinets. So that would probably be a nice deep drawer at the bottom, our fridge in the middle, and then a nice head height or above head height cabinet over that. That thing at the back there, that's going to be our U-shaped lounge. Also, this here is going to be the kitchen, sink, counter space, and stove and oven over there. All right, so I've just finished removing most of the beams from this left-hand side. That's all them there. I've still got them all on the right-hand side here, but just given this a sort of, rattle around, it still feels pretty much as stable as this side over here. So I think we're going to go for it, just remove them all, including this top beam. And if we do feel it needs a little bit more structure after that, just going to cut this down to size, flip it around, and install it inside that gap. So the insulation has arrived. We've got 19 boards of 24 by 1200, 25mm thick insulation here. We're going to start lining the walls today. We tried a few different methods of cutting this insulation board, but found that they were all either too inaccurate or too messy until we made this jig. Day 4 eh? So while it's wet outside today, what I'm going to try to do is build a jig to be able to slice the insulation a little bit more easily. I found cutting it with the circular saw far too messy and difficult, and it's sort of hard to keep the blade straight when I go through with just the knife. So I'm going to build a timber jig just so I can try and slice through it and just cut the lengths all nice and quickly. So I'll show you that. All right, so we've officially found the best way to cut the Celotex. So what we've done here is put 2 pieces of timber on the top, got a 10mm packer in between here just to make sure the gap was consistent along, and that's the exact same underneath here. So you've got another 2 identical pieces underneath. We left a gap of 25mm using this as a spacer, which is the thickness of the Celotex board. We then found it bowed a little bit in the center, so we had to put another little, I think it's like a 1 or 2mm shim in there, screw it back down. And then we've got 2 just stray bits of timber underneath there. And using the pre-existing 100mm markings on here, we're just marking on either side every 25mm. You get your blade. We've just got the cut-off one. The whole way through, pull that, get a really nice clean cut. And then, it's easy with 2 people. The other person stands on the other side, pushes it through, and it just pumps them all out. So really, really happy with that. We're gonna speed up the production of these a lot with it. And it doesn't make too much mess. So even though making that jig took about an hour for my uncle and I to make, that is going to save us so much time cutting them all out. And honestly, perfect day to sort of be inside undercover building something like that, because it is horrible out there. It's just started raining, so it's all turning to slush as well. Here's the time lapse of my uncle and I cutting these strips out. So we needed 50mm strips and a whole heap of them, and we absolutely smashed through it this way. Highly recommend it. So I'm happy with where we finished up yesterday. We managed to get most of the insulation boards filled in. There's a few spaces that we've left for where the window cutouts are going to be. Still waiting on those to arrive. We hope you enjoyed this episode, and if you haven't already, please like and subscribe. Next episode, we'll be cutting out our holes for the windows as well as getting up on the scaffolding to assess where the water is leaking in. We hope you enjoy, and see you then.